Resident Evil is a pretty awesome series. An awesome series that I got into very, very late. The first Resident Evil game I ever finished was Resident Evil 7. That was 6 years ago. God damn. I did play Resident Evil 4 back in 2006 on the PlayStation 2 as a 5-year-old, but as you can probably imagine, I didn't get too far. Hell, I didn't even get to the iconic village section before getting too scared to play it, and yeah, I dropped it there and then. Due to this lovely childhood trauma, Resident Evil 4 had always interested me during the long time span between that fateful day in 2006 and me actually finishing the game at the age of 17. And let me tell you, when I finished it, I fell in love with it. I absolutely adored the game, almost everything about it. Well, in the current time, today, Resident Evil 4 has recently been remade from the ground up by Capcom, and I'm not going to be talking about it at all in this video. You've been baited. I mean, with a title like that, why would it be about the most well-received game in this series? No, this video is about... No, not that one. No, not that one either. Oh my god, there's a lot of games in this franchise that people do not like, aren't there? There we go. That's the one. I actually kinda like Resident Evil 6. Now, Resident Evil 6 is probably one of, if not the most hated Resident Evil game. Just above that one about Umbrella Corporations made by interns at Capcom on the Unity engine. Oh, and Operation Raccoon City. Listen, I completely understand why Resident Evil 6 is hated. You can watch almost any video on the game and you'll always hear the exact same thing. People didn't like the direction Resident Evil was going after 4, focusing on more of an action focus rather than the slow-paced survival horror gameplay the series is known for. And Resident Evil 6 was the nail in the coffin for this. It's just balls to the wall action, a non-stop ride that does not slow down with its stupidity. And quite honestly, it is probably the most fun I've had playing a co-op game. Resident Evil 6 is easily the longest Resident Evil game, split up into 4 different campaigns, where you play as a huge cast of classic characters from the series, and some new ones too. These campaigns are fairly long. It took me like 20 plus hours to finish this game. The first campaign has you playing as Leon S. Kennedy, you know, the man himself, the femboy twink mascot of Capcom. The other character is some twat called Helena. No one cares about her. This campaign is pretty laid back. I said this game was over the top, but this one is pretty tame compared to the others. I don't know, like, holy shit, is that a giant zombie fucking shark? What the fuck? Is Leon flying a plane? Okay, that's a giant T-Rex. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Surely the other campaigns can't be more over the top than this. Let's see here. One of the other campaigns has you playing as the human muscle tissue, Chris Redfield, with his companion that is Tumblr bait. I don't know what else to say about this guy. Anyway, what do they do in this game? Oh, okay, they're flying jet planes. Oh, now there's a giant water monster. I don't understand. There's an invisible snake? Why is there an invisible snake? Okay, the other campaign has you playing as fucking Albert Wesker's son, and the other character is Sherry Birkin from Resident Evil 2, and they're being relentlessly stalked by a big-ass tyrant even Ada Wong has a campaign in this game, although it's probably easily the worst one. I think it was also originally supposed to be single-player only, because the co-op companion is this random soldier dude who vanishes during context-sensitive moments and cutscenes. Where does he go? What happens to him? This is a long-lasting Resident Evil fan theory. Is Ada Wong schizophrenic? Is she seeing this man? Is this just a figment of her imagination? I'm chatting shit. During each of the campaigns, there are moments where the stories intertwine and the characters encounter each other. When the game was more active, you were actually able to play with other people playing the other campaign during those sections. Hold on a second. This reminds me of another Capcom game that I talked about recently. Okay, I'm just gonna pause right here. I'm being too positive, and there are a multitude of reasons as to why people despise Resident Evil 6, and I haven't even gotten into it yet. I mean, for starters, the story itself, despite how over the top everything is a huge pile of dog shit. They turned Chris into like a raging, regretful alcoholic. They turned Leon into a pretty boring ass character in the game, and goddamn, don't get me started on the other characters. The only one I can give any form of credit is Jake. He's an asshole. I mean, he's literally eating an apple at the start of his campaign, and whenever a character is eating an apple, it just means they're an asshole. But he's Wesker's son, so he's allowed to be a raging knobhead. The best character is easily that faceless soldier fella in Ada's campaign, and I'm not even joking here. I have a soft spot for faceless soldier fellas. Can we get a Resident Evil game about Hunk already? No, Umbrella Corp does not count, shut up. The user interface in Resident Evil 6 is a clusterfuck too. It's so awkward and unintuitive to navigate, especially on a mouse and keyboard. And don't you dare say, just play with a controller. Listen, if you play any form of shooter with a controller, you should really look at yourself in the mirror and reconsider your life choices. To be fair, even on a controller, the user interface is dreadful and horrific to navigate. The controls are extremely badly conveyed to you too. In fact, I don't think the game tells you shit other than how to aim, shoot, walk forwards, and deal with the absurd number of QuickTime events. Oh, and the intro tells you about the tone of the game. I mean, this entire section you're seeing right here is in the intro. Now you can get through the game just knowing this and playing with the basics, but you really shouldn't, because my god, the amount of shit you can do in this game is amazing. The characters are more mobile than they have ever been in any Resident Evil game. You can do action dodges for fuck's sake. In what situation would you ever need to jump back while aiming and roll on the ground? That's only one of the stupid things you can pull off in this game. It just isn't Resident Evil, and I guess that's the problem. But my god, is it fun. Seriously, once you learn how to control the game effectively, it's easily some of the most fun you can have playing a third-person shooter, just behind Vanquish. Oh man. That game needs a sequel so bad. Like I said earlier, all of this can be played in co-op with a friend locally or online, and I can promise you it will be some of the most fun you have ever had with a friend. I mean, sure, it isn't always perfect. There are some sections in Resident Evil 6 that make me want to tear my hair out in frustration. The entire snowy area in Jake and Sherry's campaign comes to mind. Fucking COD Modern Warfare 2 ass area. I mean, to be fair, even in the shitty sections and areas in the game, you can still find yourself having a lot of fun, just laughing at the immense amount of stupid shit going on. Like, I did not enjoy this boss fight in the Ada campaign where her clone melts into the walls and floor in an attempt to kill Ada. Yes, that is actually what happens. It was one of the most infuriating sections I have ever played, yet I started to slightly enjoy it when it hit me that I'm fighting a giant fucking cum monster on the walls of a boat. You cannot make this shit up. It's even more absurd than the bloody T-Rex boss fight, and that's why I like this game. Resident Evil 6 is such a stupid ass game, and it's a horrible Resident Evil game, but my god, it's a funny action game. I am honestly really glad Capcom didn't stick with this formula with future Resident Evils, going back to more of the slower paced horror gameplay with the 7th game in the series, but I am really glad Resident Evil 6 exists. I also think it's better than Resident Evil 5. That's right, I said it, Resident Evil 6 is better than Resident Evil 5.